Why am I always so grateful? Because, man, life could be worse. You ain't 6 feet deep. You can see another day. Even if you don't have money in your pocket. Yo, YouTube, it's your boy Ro. Finally here at this beach. Man, I had to come out here for a sunrise. It's beautiful out here. I can't have the sun right here in your face. You won't be able to see me. But I'm with the boys. I don't know if you can see Hayate. He's running around here somewhere chasing a seagull, but I got Ash behind me. But today's episode, I just want to talk about being grateful because it's a new year. We're already in February. January took forever, but that's a good thing because time is something that we're very ungrateful for. But I just want to deep dive into why I feel grateful of everything. And, there's a lot of situations where people are in and they're just like, woe is me, kind of negative about it. But if you're actually really grateful about all your situations, which I guess in a sense would be is being real positive with your situation, man, you can really just handle anything. Again, I think for this episode, it's kind of a calming thing to be able to have a realistic backdrop of the ocean. Even my boy, Ash, he's enjoying it. Hayate, again, there he is. He's chasing some seagull that's flying above him right now. But yeah, man, I see life as like the glass half full, because it's so easy to just look at life and just be like so negative with it. It's so easy to just be like, oh, my situation's really bad, it's really worse. So he goes chasing a seagull. It's so easy to be like that, but if you deliberately just be thankful. Like, I'm not super religious, I grew up in a religious household, and I believe and understand and appreciate all religions that exist in this world. But every morning I wake up and I give thanks that I'm alive and to seize a day. And then anytime I eat a meal, I'm grateful. Some people kind of get surprised because, again, I don't really come off as super religious. But then, I'm always, blessing my food with gratefulness because I know there's people out there that ain't got any, and then anytime I go to bed, with my boys, laying in the bed with my boys, I was like, man, I'm grateful I can lay in the bed with them, because it can all be taken away so fast. And, everyone has problems, everyone has issues, but you just never know how bad someone's issue is. But you always got to remember that it could be worse. It could be dramatic. Somebody out there in that world will switch places with you right now. If you're able to watch this video, if you're on YouTube and you're able to tune in and watch this video right now, just know that you have a lot more to live for. You have way more to live for, because you wouldn't be privileged enough to be able to just sign in a phone and waste 10 minutes of your day listening to me talk. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for that, because I know I've seen it. I've never been in a third world country, but grew up, like I said, in New Orleans and in Memphis, where the crime rate is high and the uneducated is even higher. And it's just, people just have no idea, have access to things like this. You have no access, no nothing. It's literally like a zoo. They're just like prehistoric animals. They're like what these boys would be if they were just strays. They had no type of discipline, no type of restraints. But here you are, blessed to be able to listen and tune in. And being grateful for things could be anything you're grateful for. It could be the smallest thing. It could be just the reason that you just get your $16 an hour, paycheck. You're grateful for it. Because, I'm living in Miami right now, and there are people who are willing, who aren't even from America, who are willing to just work for a job that pays them, I guess, an accumulation of their hourly wage, $5 an hour. And they can barely make ends meet. They're just barely making a cut. And to be able to sit there and say, like, oh, snap, like, I don't like my $16 an hour job. No, bro, like 2 years ago, and for anybody who knows, it's been 2 years. 2 years ago, I was a UPS driver, helper. Not even a driver, a helper during, like, seasonal season. Like, what is it, like peak season? Yeah, like end of peak season, because I got laid off and I had to get a job at Amazon. So I'm literally warehouse guy 2 years ago, living in Abilene, Texas. Middle of nowhere, Texas. On the side, I was door dashing, and I'm thinking I'm making good money just because I'm finally scratching, $1,000 a week, like door dashing, overtime working at Amazon, and now here I am, living in Miami, Florida. 2 years later, again, I'm only 26. Like, it happens that fast. And that's why I do these little segments, these little journal segments, because it's like, ever since I started showing people, because I'm not one of those guys who's like flash. I'm not gonna throw no jewelry. I'm not finna throw no, cash and be like, oh, I'm living this high life. Like, most people have no idea, because I don't like project my stresses to everyone, because what am I stressed about? Like, look at my situation. Yes, there's always a problem, but what am I truly stressed about? Like, these boys are happy. I get a meal in front of me. No matter how much in debt I'm in, I can still find a way to pay it off. Like, I truly can't get mad, because I can just seize the day and finish it. But then there's people who are just like, man, Ro, like, thank you. You motivate me, this, that, da. I can never quit. I can never be ungrateful. I can't, because now people look up to me. Now people look at me and they're just like, man, you like a voice. You're direction. And that means something to me, because I was that person searching for direction. I have both my parents in my life. Thank God I do. They don't know. They only know as much as they know. And the generational gap between, my generation and my parents' generation, it's a huge difference, really hard on them. So I kind of had to figure it out and lead the way, especially because I'm the oldest out of my siblings. But man, like, seeing people look at me and they're just like, man, you figured it out, bro, and they have no idea what I've gone through, it makes me grateful. Because that means it was meant for something. Somebody is taking notice. They see it. They may not see the actions during it, but they see the end results. And just like any type of race that we watch, or any type of fight that we watch, we only see the winners. We never see what they did for months, for weeks, for days. We just had the Super Bowl. No one watched, how Nick Sirianni, the head coach for the Eagles, people were debating on letting him get fired. They were sitting there saying, like, nah, like, you suck as a head coach. Like, the Eagles aren't as good as we should be. We shouldn't be losing these unnecessary games. And they just beat the almost three-peat Chiefs in a ridiculous fashion. Like, no one's going to pay attention to all the hard work you did up to that point, just to be able to say they're the Super Bowl champs this year. So, hey, babies. So it's one of those things where, it's quick and easy for someone to be like, dang, I'm in a bad situation. Let me just hang my head. Nah, bro, like, look at the whole situation for what it is. I promise you it could be worse. And right now it might seem bad, but then tomorrow you'll just laugh at it. You just laugh at it tomorrow. I laugh at all my situations. Oh, look at my baby going in the ocean. Going to the ocean like your brother. Hayate. I love those boys. I love these boys, man, because no matter how bad my day is, man, they're always going to be here. They're always going to be there. They have no idea. They have no fashion of time. They have no idea of emotional distress that being a human has, of having to live paycheck to paycheck, or having to feed food or whatever. They're just like, Dad, you're here. I'm happy. We're happy. They're having a blast. This is the first time they came to the beach in months, because the last time I came here, got into a car wreck that I almost died in. I'll talk about that eventually in one of my videos, but yeah, it was a car wreck I almost died in, and I was afraid to come back out here, because the day before is when I came to the beach. And that was the last time I came out here. We saw some sea turtles and everything. It was during the summertime. But I'm grateful. I'm back out here. I can see another sunrise. Florida has some of the best sunrises in the nation, because it's right here on the edge. So, yeah, it's just, man, I think if a lot of people just take a deep breath, and I get it. Trust me, I get it. It's so hard. You think life is just really bad. You don't know what to do, but I promise, where you were 6 months ago, better or worse, it's totally different than where you're going to be 6 months from now. Your situation always changes. 6 months ago, I was at a hospital for a car wreck. 6 months prior, I was living in Colorado wanting to leave. And then 6 months prior to that, I was living with my mama, not knowing what to do. Like, it happens that fast. The one thing that I know, I saw this quote before on a podcast. I wish I knew I remember who it was from, but I remember this quote from a podcast, is that most people live a life where they're doing the same thing for 6 months 100 times over. For 6 months 100 times over. You're doing the same thing over and over and over. And then 6 months happen 6 times. And now all these years done pass. And now you're looking at it just like, no, you got to be proactive. You got to be proactive with your life. You got goals. If you got something, strive for them. Go through the direction you're supposed to go through. Because at least if you're knowing going through direction and something's happening, good or bad, it's because you're making a movement towards it. If you're trying to go to the gym and, you're going and working out and it's still not going your way, at least now okay, it's got to be something else outside of the gym. You're stepping foot in the gym. Is it your diet? Is it your sleep schedule? Is it the fact that you're drinking on the weekend? Are you doing something? If you're trying to do better with your friends, if you know that you're going to therapy, if you know you're going to, talks and, this, and you're trying to speak and communicate and it's still not working, what else is it? If you're doing something towards it, you can be grateful for the fact that you control what you can control. You did what you could do. And I always look at everything, every situation, men, with full accountability, that if I know what I'm doing is the best I can do, I can't get mad about anything. If I know that the reason why that I'm too tired to lift the best at the gym the next day is because I didn't go to sleep, that's on me. If I know that my work performance is really good because over the weekend I logged in on my laptop and I did some extra work on the side to impress my bosses, I can say that's because of me. So as long as you know that you're doing what you can for your own authority and no one else, always be grateful. You can always be grateful because that means you controlled your destiny. You controlled it. You can't control that road rager. You can control for the fact that you're paying attention to them. You can't control if that line at Starbucks is too long, but you can control that, hey, if I had just got here earlier, I would have avoided it. And then whenever a situation is bad, just take a deep breath and say, okay, it can be worse. It can be worse. You're in more debt. It can be worse. You can be a person that can't afford that debt anyways. And whatever you just bought that got you in that debt, you couldn't even afford it to begin with. You didn't get to eat. Guess what? You get to eat later. Or say you can't even eat later because you don't have the money. Okay? So what can you do about it? Well, you can find a way to get the money. You can reach out to somebody. You can be proactive. You can sign up for food stamps. All I'm saying is you can always take the next steps to figure it out. If you exhaust every option that you can control, I promise you'll look at your situation better versus saying the first option didn't work. If I told you all my options didn't work, my A, B, C, D, I wouldn't be on plan G right now. Or plan F. I don't even know which one it is, but I know it ain't no plan A, B, C, D. Hayate, I'm not on plan A right now. I'm not on plan A. Ironically, let's say my dogs, my plan A was to get a Belgian Malinois. Funny story. Talk about gratefulness. My plan was to get a Belgian Malinois. First dog I wanted was a black Belgian Malinois in Arkansas. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to get it. I get a call from the guy who was giving me this boy Belgian Malinois for $400, purebred. And he goes, the day I was about to get him, man, somebody just stole him. Somebody just came in the backyard, stole my male dogs. I didn't want a female dog. So I was like, what? What am I supposed to do? And I was like panicking because I was committed to getting a dog that day. Looked on Craigslist. Australian cattle dog. I've never heard of that. Never heard Australian cattle dog. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know. And I was like, it looks cool. I like the ears up. It looks cool. So I said, screw it. I guess I'm gonna get Australian cattle dog. Man, that's Ash. That's my Ashy. Come here, baby. It's my Ashy. All because of a Belgian Malinois, And then the same thing. I wanted a Belgian again. I was like, I'm gonna get a male Belgian in Colorado. And Colorado didn't have a lot of male Belgians on Craigslist. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So instead, I was like, somebody is giving at my job. They was like, somebody is giving away, Shibas for a significantly cheaper price. Usually Shibas go for like a band. They go for easily like $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, especially purebreds. But this person was giving $400 Shibas. Well, it looks like I'm getting a Shiba Inu. I'm an anime lover. Shiba Inu. And then, boom. Now I'm grateful. I got this knucklehead who's trying to eat. What is that? Sea urchin? Hayate. What are you doing, baby? Hayate. What you doing? Yeah, man. I'm grateful for these boys. I'm grateful for the life I have. Everything's for a good purpose. I don't think I would live in Miami forever. It's beautiful seeing. I'm looking at the city line. I'm looking right now in the Fort Lauderdale city line right now. And, the song Three Little Birds by Bob Marley? Anytime something happens, I tune into Bob Marley and I listen to Three Little Birds. My dad put me on with that when I was real young. I used to watch Shark Tale with Will Smith. Here's a funny fun fact. Growing up, people say I look like the fish that Will Smith played as in Shark Tale. I mean, I guess now you can see it, but he said I look like the fish from Shark Tale. So, yeah, I grew up watching that, and they, the two jellyfish, Ernie and Bernie, I think that's what their name was. They played Three Little Birds, and I really like that song. Anytime something happens, it goes, no worries about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. That's a good vibe. Just woke up this morning, Smile at the rising sun. Yeah, yeah, man. Look, some frequencies. Check out that song. It's a good song. Shout out to Bob Marley. But yeah, man. I just want to tell y'all, like, why I'm always so grateful. Cause man, life could be worse. You ain't 6 feet deep. You can see another day. Even if you don't have money in your pocket. If you live in America and you tune in on YouTube, man, or outside of YouTube, hey, shout out to my people outside of here, the YouTube world. If you tune into this video, man, be grateful. Because a lot of people can't even listen to this message right now. Hopefully it gets to them, but if it don't, man, pray for them, man.